Liars are masters of disguise. They don't wear obvious masks. They wear masks of innocence, pretending sincerity while hiding deceit. Their greatest weapon isn't their tongue, it's the illusion of honesty. One of the most deceptive questions they ask is deceptively simple. Why would I lie to you? It sounds innocent, logical even, but behind it lies manipulation at its finest. The liar isn't seeking truth. They're trying to control your perception, make you doubt your intuition, and make themselves appear wronged rather than deceptive. When a liar asks this question, they aren't proving honesty. They're demanding emotional surrender. If you doubt them, it's because you're breaking trust. If you question them, it means you don't believe in them. It's psychological warfare wrapped in sweetness. The Stoic mind sees beyond the sugar-coating. Marcus Aurelius said, "If anyone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." Liars avoid truth because truth threatens control. They want you defending yourself instead of defending reality. The Stoic response is to pause, observe, and let reason, not emotion, decide. Epictetus teaches that we must separate what is within our control from what is not. Your perception is within control, their intention is not. When guilt or doubt arises from their question, remember it's a trap designed to cloud your clarity. Internally remind yourself, this question does not require my defense, it requires my discernment. Step back and observe your emotional reaction. The one who controls emotion controls perception, and manipulators know this well. Why does this question work? Humans crave connection and honesty. We want to trust those close to us. Liars exploit empathy, making you feel bad for doubting, and manipulate morality, making doubt feel wrong. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Guilt tripping creates imagined pain, the fear of confrontation, the discomfort of doubt. The reality is that facing a lie is temporary, but living under one is endless. Stoicism demands courage, the courage to prioritize truth over emotional comfort. Stoicism teaches observation without attachment. When you suspect deception, don't accuse, don't react, don't defend. Watch actions versus words, notice deflection, guilt trips, and over-explaining. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Peace comes from clear perception, not from others' honesty. Liars thrive on your reaction. Emotional stability robs them of control. The next time someone asks, "Why would I lie to you?" respond calmly, "I don't know, that's what I'm trying to find out." No anger, no drama, just clarity. Be silent, observant, grounded. You stop letting their words guide your truth. The Stoics never sought to eliminate liars from life because human nature is imperfect. Instead, they sought to eliminate dependence on lies. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." Don't react with frustration when you discover deception. React with understanding. A liar is weak not because they deceive but because they must deceive to survive. They live in fear, fear of exposure, fear of truth, fear of losing control. You, on the other hand, live in truth, and that is your strength. Liars ask questions not to know the truth but to distort it. They say, "Why would I lie to you?" as if the absence of reason proves honesty. The Stoic knows better. Truth doesn't need defense, and lies don't need justification. They only need silence to thrive. Do not silence your intuition. Do not trade your peace for false harmony. When you sense manipulation, remember that the wise are not cynical but cautious. They trust but verify. They listen but discern. They forgive but do not forget what they have learned. The Stoic path is not about rejecting people. It's about rejecting illusion. Stay grounded, stay unshakable, and let reason be your compass. Not emotion, not guilt, not the sweet poison of manipulation. When a liar senses your doubt, they shift strategies. Their tone softens, their eyes narrow, and with a wounded voice they ask, "Don't you trust me?" This question sounds gentle, emotional, even heartbreaking. It's not an attack, it's a performance. It's not meant to reveal truth, it's meant to weaponize your empathy. The liar's greatest strength isn't intelligence, it's manipulation. Their favorite weapon is your desire to be seen as loyal, kind, and trusting. They know that by asking, "Don't you trust me?" they can make you feel guilty for something they did wrong. But a Stoic sees through the disguise. To the Stoic, emotional guilt is a fog, and truth cannot be seen through fog. When someone asks, "Don't you trust me?" they're not inviting an honest conversation. They're trying to silence your intuition. They know that trust is sacred, and that questioning it feels like betrayal. So they don't defend their honesty, they attack your loyalty. This is emotional blackmail in disguise. It's meant to flip the power dynamic. Suddenly, you become the one on trial. You start explaining yourself, your feelings, your doubts while they sit comfortably, pretending to be hurt. A Stoic would never step into that trap. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. To a liar, truth is inconvenient. To a Stoic, truth is freedom. When you live by truth, you don't need to defend yourself with guilt. You don't need to demand trust. You earn it through consistency, clarity, and integrity. When a manipulator says, "Don't you trust me?" you must pause not to answer but to observe. Ask yourself, why are they asking this now? What are they trying to protect or avoid? Are they appealing to my heart because they can't appeal to logic? Epictetus taught that our emotions are reactions to our judgments, not to events themselves. So before reacting, redefine the situation. Don't see it as an accusation of disloyalty, see it as a clue to deeper deception. Instead of defending yourself, look at their actions. Trust is not built by words, it's revealed by patterns. A Stoic mind separates emotion from evaluation. It doesn't mean you stop feeling, it means you start seeing. Liars often study your emotional patterns. They notice what makes you uncomfortable. They learn what kind of person you want to be, loyal, kind, understanding, and then they use those qualities against you. When they ask, "Don't you trust me?" they're appealing to your self-image. They know you don't want to be seen as cold or suspicious, so they make you prove your trust by silencing your doubts. But trust that demands blindness is not trust, it's control. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And bravery here means the courage to question, the strength to walk through discomfort. It's bravery to say, "Yes, I trust people, but I also trust myself enough to verify." The Stoics believed that virtue is the foundation of all relationships, not emotion, not appearance. A Stoic doesn't assume honesty, they observe it. They don't give blind faith, they give measured respect. They don't build connections through guilt, they build them through clarity. So when someone pressures you with, "Don't you trust me?" ask yourself, what have they done to earn that trust? Trust is not a gift, it's a reflection. It mirrors integrity, and integrity leaves evidence. If there is no evidence, then the request for blind trust is simply an attempt to gain control. The Stoic's secret weapon is detachment, not from people but from their tactics. You can care for someone deeply and still recognize manipulation. You can love and still stay rational. You can listen and still question. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look things in the face and know them for what they are." So when you hear, "Don't you trust me?" look beyond the tone, the eyes, the emotion. See it for what it is, a distraction from truth. If someone is honest, they will not fear your questions. If someone is deceitful, they will try to make you feel wrong for asking them. This clarity is your armor. It keeps you from being swayed by emotional winds. Manipulative people thrive on guilt. They want you to feel responsible for their emotions. If you question them, they act hurt. If you step back, they act disappointed. If you stay silent, they call you cold. But the Stoic understands, your peace is not a public property. It is a discipline, a sacred space earned through reason and self-awareness. Epictetus taught that we cannot be harmed without our consent. The liar may plant guilt, but it only grows if we water it with attention. So don't defend yourself against false guilt, examine it. Ask, did I actually do wrong, or am I just uncomfortable? Am I reacting to truth or to manipulation? True peace doesn't mean pleasing everyone, it means being at peace with your integrity. When you respond with silence instead of defensiveness, the manipulator loses control. When you respond with reason instead of guilt, they lose their grip. When you respond with calm instead of emotion, they lose their power. A simple Stoic response to "Don't you trust me?" could be, "Trust is built by truth, not by pressure," or simply, "If my questions bother you, maybe there's a reason for them." No anger, no drama, just truth, cold, calm, and unshakable. The core Stoic belief is self-mastery, the ability to govern your mind even when the world tries to deceive it. When liars manipulate you with guilt, they are betting that you will doubt yourself before you doubt them. The Stoic reverses that. They trust their reason. They trust their intuition. They trust their inner judgment, not because it's always right, but because it's always honest. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Reason, that's your weapon. Not anger. Not argument. Reason. Don't you trust me? A simple question with sharp edges. It cuts not your mind but your emotions. It disguises manipulation as love and guilt as loyalty. But the Stoic knows, real trust needs no performance. Real honesty fears no question. And real love does not demand blindness. So stay awake, trust when it's earned, detach when it's forced, and always remember, the one who owns his peace cannot be owned by anyone's lie. There comes a moment in every manipulator's act when they drop the mask of innocence and put on the mask of outrage. The voice rises, the expression hardens, the tone shifts from calm to offended, and then, with a glare designed to pierce your confidence, they say, "Are you calling me a liar?" This is no longer subtle manipulation, it's psychological intimidation. It's a performance meant to turn your doubt into guilt and your reason into silence. And it works, unless you stand firm in the Stoic way. When a liar asks, "Are you calling me a liar?" they are not seeking clarity, they're seeking control. They're flipping the narrative, painting themselves as the victim of your suspicion rather than the author of deception. They know you'll hesitate. You'll second-guess your tone, your words, your intentions. You'll start to wonder if you've gone too far, if you've been unfair. And in that moment of hesitation, they win. Because the liar doesn't need to prove truth, they only need to make you feel bad for questioning it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. A liar thrives on your reaction. When you become emotional, they manipulate that emotion into weakness. But when you remain calm, silent, analytical, detached, you become untouchable. The Stoic knows that truth stands on its own. It doesn't need defense, argument, or anger. When someone shouts, "Are you calling me a liar?" they reveal more than they hide. Their reaction exposes the fragility of their honesty. Because truth never fears being questioned, only lies do. Epictetus said, "It is not the things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things." So, don't be disturbed by their outrage. Don't let their anger become your confusion. Instead, observe their need to protect a lie through drama. You can't control how they react, but you can control your inner posture. Calm, composed, rational. That's Stoic power. This question, "Are you calling me a liar?" isn't about you. It's about them. It's the outburst of someone who fears exposure. They fear losing credibility. They fear losing control. They fear being seen for who they truly are. By feigning offense, they create a diversion. They want the spotlight to shift from what they said to how you made them feel. They replace the issue of truth with the issue of your tone. They change the question from "Did they lie?" to "Did you insult them?" Seneca reminds us, "He who does wrong is the unhappiest of all." And indeed, liars live in that unhappiness, trapped in the exhausting work of keeping their illusion alive. Their emotional drama is not power, it's panic. The Stoic way to respond is not with defensiveness, but with stillness. You don't fight a liar's emotion with more emotion. You fight it with logic, observation, and unshakable composure. When accused of calling them a liar, you might calmly say, "I'm not calling you anything. I'm just seeking clarity." This response disarms them. It refuses to play their emotional game. You're not reacting, you're reasoning. And reason is a language the liar cannot speak fluently. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." So when faced with deceit, don't mirror their drama. Mirror their weakness with your strength. Your calmness will frustrate them more than any accusation ever could. Most people fall into this trap. When asked, "Are you calling me a liar?" they rush to defend themselves. No, I didn't mean that. I wasn't saying you're lying. I just asked a question." But that's exactly what the manipulator wants. The moment you start justifying your words, the focus shifts away from their dishonesty and lands on your behavior. They gain the moral high ground, and you lose your footing. The Stoic refuses to play this game. Instead of defending, they reflect. They let silence work. Silence makes the manipulator uncomfortable, because it forces them to confront their own falsehood without distraction. The Stoics were masters of self-observation. They knew that the world often serves as a mirror, showing us not just who others are, but who we are becoming in response to them. When faced with manipulation, the Stoic doesn't ask, "How dare they?" but rather, "How will I respond?" Your reaction determines whether you are free or enslaved to their influence. If you lose control, you've become part of their script. If you remain composed, you've written your own. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. For he is not permitted to prove himself." So when confronted by deceit, see it as a chance, not to argue but to practice mastery. To prove that you can remain unmoved, unprovoked, and unbroken. Liars are not confident, they are insecure. They use aggression to hide fear, manipulation to hide weakness, and guilt to hide guiltier truths. When they say, "Are you calling me a liar?" They are begging you to back off, to validate their illusion so they can keep living in it. But you owe no comfort to deceit. Compassion, yes, but comfort, no. The Stoic shows compassion through understanding, not through enabling. You can see their pain, but you don't let it blind your judgment. You can forgive, but you don't forget the lesson. Stillness is not silence, it's strength. It's the space between reaction and response. It's the moment where your reason breathes and your emotions quiet down. When the liar raises their voice, you lower your ego. When they challenge your truth, you stand calmly within it. When they demand your defense, you offer only peace. This stillness confuses them, because manipulation cannot survive where there is no chaos to feed on. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To be unmoved by lies, that is mastery. To stay calm in the face of accusation, that is freedom. Are you calling me a liar? It's not a question of truth, it's a demand for submission. It's the manipulator's attempt to shift your focus from what they did to how they feel about being questioned. But the Stoic doesn't chase emotional approval. He stands firm in reason, silent in strength, patient in observation. Let others shout, cry, and perform, you remain the still observer. For in silence, truth becomes visible. And once you see clearly, no lie can enslave you again. When the manipulator realizes that logic won't save them, and guilt isn't breaking you anymore, they change tactics once again. Now they become the victim. Their tone softens, their eyes lower, and they say, "Why are you hurting me with your doubts?" This question is their final mask, the illusion of innocence wrapped in emotional pain. It's not about truth anymore, it's about sympathy. They don't want to win your mind, they want to win your heart. Because if they can't make you doubt your reason, they'll make you doubt your compassion. But Stoicism warns us, compassion must never blind justice. At this stage, the liar knows they've lost control of the story. You're questioning, you're observing, you're detached. So they change roles, from deceiver to victim. Why are you hurting me with your doubts? I've never done anything to deserve this. You're breaking my heart by not trusting me. It's an emotional performance, designed to shift moral weight. They want to make you feel like the bad person. They turn your clarity into cruelty, your awareness into betrayal. And the more empathy you have, the more effective this tactic becomes. The manipulator knows something powerful. Good hearts don't like hurting others. So they play the victim because it disarms your strength. Epictetus taught that emotions are not the problem, our attachments to them are. When someone weaponizes emotion, they are counting on your inability to separate compassion from compliance. But a Stoic knows the difference. You can feel empathy without surrendering your boundaries. You can understand someone's pain without ignoring their deceit. Seneca wrote, "He who spares the guilty harms the innocent." In this case, the innocent is your peace of mind. When you comfort a manipulator out of guilt, you harm yourself. You reinforce their illusion, and they will use that illusion again. Stoic compassion is not about making others feel good. It's about aligning with truth, even when truth hurts. When a liar plays the victim, it's not spontaneous, it's strategic. They are testing your empathy. They're saying, if you truly care, you'll stop questioning me. It's a clever twist, because they're now using your goodness as their shield. They turn their lie into your responsibility. And if you fall for it, you'll spend your energy comforting them, instead of confronting reality. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. To go along with a lie for the sake of peace is to betray reason. And a Stoic would never trade truth for temporary emotional comfort. The Stoic doesn't respond to guilt with coldness. He responds with balance. If someone says, "You're hurting me with your doubts," a Stoic doesn't rush to apologize or to explain. He recognizes that the person is trying to control his emotion, not his understanding. A calm response could be, "My questions aren't meant to hurt. They're meant to understand." This is not cruelty, it's clarity. And clarity is the greatest act of respect, both for yourself and for others. Because truth, even when uncomfortable, is a form of care. Lies are the real cruelty, they damage silently, deeply, and permanently. Manipulators thrive in emotional confusion. They want you to feel responsible for their reactions, their sadness, even their lies. But Epictetus taught that we are responsible only for what is within our control. Our thoughts, our actions, our choices. We are not responsible for another person's manipulation of emotion. If your questions make a liar uncomfortable, that discomfort is the weight of truth, not your cruelty. If your detachment makes them cry, that's the collapse of their illusion, not your betrayal. Do not carry the burden of their deception. Compassion doesn't mean absorbing someone else's chaos. The Stoic path isn't about becoming hard, it's about becoming honest. It's about loving people without being enslaved by their emotions. Because love without wisdom turns into weakness. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A good man listens. He cares. But he also sees. He doesn't let tears blind him to truth. He doesn't let sorrow silence his reason. He can sit with someone's pain, but still know when that pain is performance. And that's the power of Stoic compassion. It sees both heart and motive. Nothing terrifies a liar more than an emotionally independent person. Someone who feels deeply, but doesn't react blindly. Someone who can hear, "You're hurting me," and still calmly say, "Then let's face the truth together." Because at that point, their manipulation fails. They can no longer use guilt to bend your will. You've stepped into a place of calm power, where love and logic coexist. Seneca said, "To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength." That includes emotional trials. When you bear manipulation calmly, you strip it of its power. So, how does the Stoic respond when accused of hurting someone with doubt? He doesn't argue. He doesn't apologize for truth. He holds space for emotion, but not for distortion. You might say with quiet strength, if honesty hurts, maybe the problem isn't honesty. Or even simpler, truth can be uncomfortable, but it's the only path to peace. That's how you hold both wisdom and compassion in one sentence. That's how you turn guilt into growth. Why are you hurting me with your doubts? It sounds like love's cry, but it's often deceit's defense. It's how liars hide from accountability while making you feel cruel for seeking clarity. But the Stoic knows the difference between compassion and control. He knows that protecting someone's illusion is not kindness, it's betrayal of the truth. So stay kind but stay awake. Let your empathy flow but let reason guide its direction. Don't close your eyes to pain, but don't let pain close your eyes to reality. Because the Stoic heart is both soft and strong. It feels deeply but stands firmly. And in that balance, manipulation dies, truth breathes, and peace begins. There comes a moment in every manipulative relationship when the liar runs out of logic. Their justifications crumble, their stories begin to contradict, and the mask starts to slip. That's when they play their last card, the victim card. Their voice softens, their tone turns fragile, and they say, "Why are you hurting me with your doubts?" It sounds gentle. It sounds emotional. But beneath that softness lies a powerful psychological weapon. It's not an appeal for understanding, it's a trap built on guilt. And this is the moment where a Stoic mind must be sharper than ever. Because this is not a fight of words anymore, it's a test of your emotional strength. When all else fails, when logic, charm, and intimidation stop working, the manipulator switches strategies. They stop attacking and start pretending to bleed. They say, "You're so cold now. You've changed. I can't believe you think I'd lie to you. You're breaking my heart by not trusting me." Each sentence is carefully crafted to reverse guilt, to make you question your morality instead of their honesty. They want you to feel like the cruel one, the insensitive one, the one who is hurting an innocent person just for asking questions. But remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "The truth never harms a just cause." If the truth hurts them, it's because their cause isn't just. It's because deep down your doubts are justified. A Stoic is not emotionless. He feels deeply, but he does not allow his emotions to control his judgment. He knows that compassion must serve truth, not blind it. Epictetus said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit." The same applies here. When someone tries to provoke guilt in you, to make you feel cruel for seeking truth, they're testing your emotional discipline. A Stoic must separate compassion from compliance. You can feel sorry for their pain, but you must not confuse that sorrow with surrender. Good people hate to see others suffer. And manipulators know this. That's why they cry, they look hurt, they withdraw. They rely on your empathy as a weapon against your clarity. You start thinking, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I should trust them again. Maybe I'm overreacting. And that's how you fall back into their circle. Not because of their power, but because of your compassion. But Stoicism teaches that the highest form of kindness is truth, not comfort. If your doubts are based on reality, silencing them isn't kindness, it's self-deception. Seneca once wrote, "He who spares the guilty harms the innocent." In this case, the innocent is your peace of mind. Every time you silence your intuition to protect a liar's feelings, you wound yourself instead. Liars are excellent actors. They know how to use tone, timing, and tears. But one thing they can't fake is consistency. The Stoic doesn't react to surface emotion. He looks at patterns. He asks, is this pain genuine, or does it only appear when I question them? Do they take responsibility, or do they only play the victim when cornered? Does this sadness come with truth, or only when I seek it? By asking these questions, you turn from an emotional participant into a calm observer. That's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. You can't control their tears, but you can control your reaction to them. When someone says, "You're hurting me with your doubts," a Stoic does not rush to apologize. He stays calm. He doesn't deny their feelings, but he doesn't absorb their blame either. He might say gently, "I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to understand." That one line disarms manipulation without cruelty. It shows compassion without surrender. Because the Stoic way is not to become cold, it's to become clear. Kindness without clarity is weakness. Clarity without kindness is cruelty. True Stoicism balances both. A manipulator's power exists only as long as you react emotionally. When you stay calm, when you don't take their guilt personally, their illusion collapses. They can't scare you, guilt you, or confuse you, because you no longer dance to their emotional rhythm. And this terrifies them. Because once you detach emotionally, you see the performance for what it is, a desperate attempt to control your compassion. That's when the manipulator realizes, you're no longer their audience. Seneca said, "To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength." When you respond to guilt with calmness, you rob it of its power. Here's what a Stoic might do when faced with this manipulative question. Pause before reacting. Don't rush to defend or explain yourself. Breathe. Guilt thrives on reaction. Acknowledge emotion, not blame. You can say, "I understand you feel hurt," without accepting false responsibility. Bring the focus back to truth. If there's honesty between us, we'll find peace through it, not by avoiding it. Stay consistent. Don't change your stance just to stop their tears. Your calm consistency exposes their manipulation. This approach blends compassion and courage, the essence of Stoic mastery. The manipulator's ultimate weapon is your emotional dependence, your need for peace, validation, or harmony. But when you develop emotional independence, you no longer need their approval to feel at peace. You become steady like a mountain, kind but immovable. They may cry, accuse, or plead, but your calm remains your armor. Marcus Aurelius would say, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Being good doesn't mean being easily controlled. It means being truthful, grounded, and kind without losing reason. Why are you hurting me with your doubts? This question isn't born from honesty, it's born from fear. The liar fears exposure. They fear your awareness, so they attack your heart, hoping guilt will silence your clarity. But the Stoic knows, you can feel empathy and still protect yourself. You can love someone and still confront their lies. You can be kind and still walk away. The true Stoic heart is soft enough to feel, but strong enough to stand alone. And that is the ultimate freedom, to care deeply without being controlled. To see clearly without being cold. To stay peaceful even when someone tries to twist peace into guilt. There's one manipulative question that cuts deeper than guilt, deeper than emotional tricks. It's the one that targets your sense of reality. It sounds calm, almost logical, yet it leaves your mind spinning. The liar looks at you with disbelief and says, "Why would you even think that about me?" This is not an innocent question. It's the weapon of a gaslighter, someone who wants to make you doubt not just their actions but your own perception. They don't want to win the argument, they want to rewrite your reality. And in moments like these, the Stoic path becomes more than philosophy, it becomes a shield for your sanity. When a manipulator says, "Why would you even think that about me?" they are not asking for understanding, they are challenging your right to think. That one sentence carries several silent messages. You're wrong to suspect me. You're irrational. You're paranoid. You're the problem. Their goal is simple, to make you doubt the validity of your intuition, to make you feel ashamed for questioning. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." That's exactly what the gaslighter targets, the quality of your thoughts. If they can make you question your mind, they don't need to prove their innocence, because you'll start defending their lie yourself. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you but how you interpret it that matters." The Stoic doesn't deny perception, he refines it. He trains himself to see clearly, to separate appearance from truth. When someone says, "Why would you think that about me?" the Stoic doesn't rush to apologize or justify his thoughts. He pauses and asks internally, "What led me to this thought? Observation or assumption?" If it's observation, if evidence, patterns, or intuition back it up, then the Stoic stands firm. If it's assumption or rumor, he seeks more clarity, but never allows shame to silence his reasoning. A Stoic never apologizes for seeing, he only seeks to see better. Gaslighting is not loud, it's subtle. It doesn't attack your emotions first, it attacks your confidence in your own judgment. You might start hearing lines like, "You're imagining things. You always overthink. You twist everything I say. You really need to stop being so negative." Each line is a seed of doubt, not about them but about you. Soon you start questioning your memory, your perception, even your instincts. That's the point. Confuse the target until truth becomes uncertain. But a Stoic mind cannot be hijacked so easily, because it's trained to anchor truth not in emotion, but in observation and principle. When the gaslighter asks, "Why would you think that about me?" the Stoic does not react emotionally. He observes both the words and the intent behind them. He asks himself, are they genuinely seeking understanding? Or are they trying to make me doubt myself? Does their behavior align with their words? Stoicism teaches that every situation must be seen as it is, not as someone wants you to see it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If anyone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change. For I seek truth, not victory." That's how the Stoic remains untouchable. He is open to truth but immune to manipulation, because he seeks facts, not approval. The moment you start thinking, "Maybe I'm overreacting," the manipulator gains ground. Not because you're wrong, but because you've lost certainty. You begin editing your words to avoid conflict. You start questioning your own feelings before expressing them. You begin to self-censor, and that is exactly what the manipulator wants. But Stoicism reminds us, never value anything as profitable that compels you to break your word, lose your self-respect, or hate any man. When you suppress your truth for peace, you lose self-respect. When you doubt your reality for someone else's comfort, you lose peace. A Stoic never trades his clarity for false harmony. The gaslighter thrives in emotional chaos. They want you defensive, confused, desperate to explain yourself. But the Stoic refuses to play that game. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to accuse you," he calmly says, "I thought it because of what I observed." This shifts the focus back to facts. It denies the manipulator emotional control. It shows that your observations are based on reason, not paranoia. And when they try to twist your calmness into coldness, remember, clarity is not cruelty. Silence is not guilt. Detachment is not disrespect. A Stoic doesn't withdraw from people. He withdraws from illusions. To stay grounded against gaslighting, the Stoic builds internal anchors. Memory over emotion. Write down what you experience. Facts fade when emotions are strong. Record the truth before it's rewritten. Principles over persuasion. Know what you stand for: honesty, self-respect, fairness. If a person consistently violates these, words are irrelevant. Observation over accusation. Instead of calling them a liar, describe what you see. "You said this yesterday, but today it's different." Let facts speak. Calm over chaos. Don't react, don't argue, and never beg for truth. Calmness is both weapon and wisdom. These practices make the Stoic mind unshakable, a fortress that no manipulator can enter. The liar depends on your confusion. The Stoic depends on clarity. One thrives in fog, the other in light. You cannot gaslight someone who questions reality through observation and reason instead of emotion. You cannot manipulate someone who doesn't need to be right, only to be true. The Stoic stands calmly saying, "If my thoughts are wrong, show me the truth. But if my eyes see correctly, no question can unsee it." That's how the Stoic disarms deceit, not by fighting but by seeing without fear. Why would you even think that about me? Because something in your actions gave reason to. Because truth deserves to be questioned. Because peace built on blindness is not peace at all. The manipulator's goal is to make you doubt your mind. The Stoic's duty is to master it. So, when someone tries to rewrite your reality, don't fight with anger. Respond with awareness. Don't explain endlessly, observe silently. Don't apologize for clarity, honor it. Because in a world full of gaslight and illusion, the most dangerous person is the one who sees clearly and stays calm. That's the Stoic's greatest strength. Unmoved by emotion, unbroken by deception, and unafraid to stand alone with truth. Every manipulator has a final weapon, one that plays on debt, gratitude, and obligation. It doesn't attack your mind or your emotions directly. Instead, it attacks your sense of morality and loyalty. They lean close, soften their tone, and ask, "After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" This question is powerful because it leverages something humans naturally fear: being ungrateful, being disloyal, being selfish. And it works on almost everyone, unless you've learned the Stoic art of discerning true obligation from emotional manipulation. This is the last stage in the 7-part cycle of deceit. By now they've tried intimidation. Are you calling me a liar? Guilt. Why are you so defensive? Victimhood. Why are you hurting me with your doubts? Gaslighting. Why would you even think that about me? And when none of these work, they pull the debt card. They remind you of favors, sacrifices, and kindnesses, real or imagined, to create moral obligation. The underlying message is clear: if you challenge me, you are ungrateful. If you question me, you are selfish. If you act in your own interest, you are immoral. It's not about truth anymore, it's about guilt. And the Stoic must recognize it immediately. Seneca teaches, "Nothing, to my way of thinking, is better for a man than to be able to face life with self-respect." True obligation is grounded in justice and truth, not in emotional coercion. Just because someone has helped you doesn't mean they are beyond scrutiny. Just because someone has been kind doesn't mean their actions are exempt from honesty. Just because someone has invested in you doesn't mean they can manipulate your mind. The Stoic knows that gratitude is a feeling, not a chain. It can coexist with integrity. It does not require submission to lies. "After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" is dangerous because it appeals to moral anxiety. You begin to question yourself. Am I being selfish? Am I wrong for questioning? Do I owe more than I realize? Manipulators are masters of this psychological twist. They shift the focus from their dishonesty to your supposed ingratitude. They try to make your reason and perception feel like betrayal. But Stoicism teaches that virtue is its own obligation. Your duty is not to gratitude at the cost of truth. Your duty is not to appease emotional manipulation. Your duty is to reason, justice, and inner peace. A Stoic doesn't deny the past or the kindness received. He acknowledges it with clarity. Instead of reacting emotionally, he might respond, "I am grateful for your help. But gratitude does not require me to accept dishonesty." This is the perfect balance. It honors the reality of the help given. It refuses to surrender your integrity. It reaffirms your agency over your mind and actions. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Being good means recognizing kindness without letting it chain your judgment. Being good means being aware of manipulation while remaining humane. The key to resisting this final question is emotional independence. A manipulator wants you to react emotionally because that creates confusion, submission, complicity. When you react calmly, you deprive them of leverage. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." If your mind remains anchored in truth, gratitude becomes a reflection, not a weapon. You can acknowledge the past without letting it dictate the present. By part 7, the manipulator has attempted every tactic: intimidation, guilt, victimhood, gaslighting, and emotional debt. The Stoic sees the pattern clearly. These questions are not about me, they are about control. Recognizing the pattern is liberating. It allows you to respond with detachment rather than reaction. It allows you to protect yourself without cruelty, to stay calm without being cold. You are no longer a participant in their game, you are an observer of their strategy. Pause and breathe. Don't respond in guilt or shame. Emotional reaction fuels the manipulator. Acknowledge truthfully, "I recognize your help and support." Refocus on integrity, but honesty and clarity cannot be compromised. That is the only way forward. Maintain calm firmness. Stoicism is not about winning, it is about not losing yourself. Let facts, not emotion, guide the conversation. The manipulator thrives on emotional confusion. By speaking calmly, you reclaim control. When you respond to manipulative questions with calm clarity, you demonstrate something the liar cannot touch: emotional autonomy, rational clarity, moral courage. No accusation, guilt trip, or debt appeal can sway a mind grounded in reason and principle. Seneca said, "He who has attained mastery of himself is truly free." The manipulator may scream, plead, or cry, but your freedom is untouchable. Your peace is inviolable. And in that calm, stoic power, the manipulator's questions lose their meaning. "After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me," is a plea disguised as manipulation. It leverages gratitude, loyalty, and morality to suppress your reasoning. But the Stoic knows, gratitude is recognition, not obligation. Kindness does not erase accountability. Emotional appeals do not outweigh truth. In facing the manipulator, the Stoic mind remains calm in the storm, clear in confusion, unmoved by guilt. And that is the ultimate mastery, to care, to observe, to honor truth, and to stand firm even when all 7 manipulative questions are hurled at you. In the end, the manipulator has their tricks. You have your wisdom. And wisdom, unlike manipulation, cannot be taken.